and you do that for 45 years of your life, and I'm brainwashed?
It's crazy.
I'm brainwashed because at 18 years old, I was so dumb that I believed everything these people told me. And by the time I was 25, I would never have to work for the rest of my life. I'm brainwashed?
I love it.
No, you're brainwashed. But that's not a bad thing. In network marketing, what do? We flush your brain out, right? We don't brainwash you, we wash your brain from all the stuff that you've been taught that you can't make it. And again, if we were the only ones doing it, it would be different. But we're not. Look around you. Get on the internet. Look at the people that have created financial independence in network marketing. Dubs, how much, in your biggest run, how much money did you make it in what period of time?
My biggest month?
Just your biggest, like 4 or 5 months when you really knocked it out of the park, that one deal.
Well, 1 month I made over $400,000 in a month.
In 1 month. Okay, in 1 month. Now, have you known not hundreds but thousands of people be able to do that in 1,000 different businesses?
You mean conventional businesses?
No, network marketing.
Yeah, there's been several people that have made.
That have done that, right? People say, well, the people on the top make all the money. You ever hear that?
Yeah.
People that get in first make all the money. The people that have earned the most money in the history of network marketing did not get in when the company started. They didn't get in when the company started. Amway, which is what I was talking about, the guy Bill Britt and Dexter Yeager, the company's been around for 5 years before they got in. 5 years. We've been around literally for 5 months. So is timing important? Yes, with what you're doing and what you're selling. Is timing important when you get in? No. It's not. Those are the facts, right? You want opinions, you go down the street. But if you want the facts and you don't want to beat around the bush, we're going to give you some facts today. Why? Because those facts are your friends. Those facts build your certainty, which builds your passion, which builds your belief in what you do. Network marketing has created more millionaires than any other industry in the history of the world. People just like you. Doctors and lawyers, yes, but more teachers, right? More people that don't have college degrees. More people that, that they didn't have another shot in life. And the reason I don't like it, I love it, as Ephraim says, is because it is the last way for the average person to win big. It's the last way for the little guy or the little girl to make an incredible life, not only for their life, but for the lives of their kids and their kids' kids. That's game number 2. And that's the game that we play. And you can do that in a number of different industries. But the barrier to entry in network marketing in our company is 0. And when your barrier of entry is 0, you have the ability to get more people involved in a faster rate and more people across the country and the world than in any other business. So you can play then game number 3. Here's where it gets fun. That's when you make money on your money. Robert Kiyosaki talks about not working for money, but your money working for you. Challenge is you got to go make a whole bunch of money in order to do that. And can you do that in this industry? Absolutely. Example after example after example after example. So those are the 3 games. Network marketing. What is it like? What's the difference between a direct salesperson and a network marketer? I think this is important to understand. We're in a business where people go knock on doors, probably knocked on your door every single day trying to sell the same product that we market. And you can go do that. You can go sell energy to your friends, your family, to the people that you know. You can call them on the phone. You can talk about the rates. You can talk about all these things. Or you can talk about the opportunity for them not only to change their meter, but to show it to other people. And the best example of that, real life example, difference between network marketing and conventional business, difference between people that play small and play big, difference between people that make a little bit of money and make a lot of money. Best example of that is McDonald's. How many of you in here have ever eaten at McDonald's? Don't be ashamed. How many of you eaten there in the last week? Okay, you're definitely not ashamed. Okay. Is it the best hamburger you've ever bit your teeth into?
No.
Could you make one better at home?
Yes.
Okay. Is it the quality of the meat that gets you there?
No.
You have any idea where the meat comes from? No. You don't want to know. Okay. Is it because McDonald's restaurants are beautiful and awesome when you walk in? No. How many of you in here can literally taste what a Big Mac tastes like in your mouth right now?
Ew.
I haven't eaten a McDonald's hamburger in 17 years. And I can smell it. I can taste it. I can tell you what the bathroom smells like. I haven't walked into a McDonald's in 17. I can tell you why. Because as a child, that's where we went literally every single week. And we were excited about it. We were fired up. The Wall Street Journal calls McDonald's, as a business, still to this day, the closest thing to a sure thing on planet Earth. And yet the burgers are terrible. It's terrible for you. There's nothing good about McDonald's, okay, for your life, other than maybe the birthday parties and Ronald McDonald. Not even that. So why is it the #1 fast food chain on the planet and there's not even anybody close in second place? Why? Why did it work? They had a system, right? They had branding, right? They had marketing. But when franchising, but there's a lot of franchises. What makes them different? The mentality of the guy that didn't start McDonald's but bought it. Who's the founder of McDonald's?
Ray Kroc.
Ray Kroc. Wrong. That's what everybody says. Everybody thinks Ray Kroc. Where did McDonald come from? Did he just like the name? Call it a Big Mac? There were two brothers. Did it come from Ronald McDonald? No. But it would make sense. McDonald's, 1940s, take you back, San Bernardino County, California. There's two brothers named Dick and Maurice McDonald. They are entrepreneurs. They want to be in the restaurant business. They know how to cook hamburgers, but they see a trend happening. They see something, they see a shift. They see people now being very busy with their work. They see women starting to go to work and leave the home. They watch this and they say, there's a huge movement here that we can take advantage of. Because what does Warren Buffett say? He says, be first with an idea and be first to go tell the world, not your city, your state, your country, the world about your idea. He said, position yourself at the beginning of a growth curve, not at the middle, not at the end, but at the inception, and realize that window's always closing. So work like there's no tomorrow. What did the guys do? They did exactly that. They said, there will be a need where people do not have an hour anymore to eat lunch. They'll have to eat lunch in 10 minutes. And we're going to create this sonic, you go through it's fantastic. It's just fantastic history. But it looked like a Sonic at first. Had the golden arches, looked like a Sonic. They didn't have roller skates, but they would literally come out to your car and they would bring you your food and it was literally ready within a minute from when you got there. And it was fantastic. And there was a line around this building in this one location and they couldn't hire enough people to sell enough hamburgers, but they were in heaven because they were making more money than they'd ever made in their life off of this one location. They were working 18, 19, and 20 hours a day to keep it open. They were playing game #1, but they were extremely successful at game #1, but they didn't have any time to do anything or enjoy their life. So in comes a 57-year-old milkshake machine salesman. And he would sell milkshake machines to little mom and pop burger joints all over California. He had a pretty good business going, but he wasn't tremendously successful. And he gets an order for 6 milkshake machines, one location. Says it's got to be a mistake. Calls them up. Why do you need 6? Nobody's ever needed more than one. We need 6. Well, you don't know what's happening here. The volume people love these milkshakes, but we need 6 more machines. He says, I got to go look at this myself. So he gets in his car and he goes over to this McDonald's. And, ma'am, you don't like McDonald's? So he gets in his car, he goes over there, he meets Dick and Maurice McDonald, and he sees what's going on. And his name was Ray Kroc. And Ray Kroc said, this is unbelievable. If this works in San Bernardino County, California, this will work in San Clemente, it'll work in San Francisco, it'll work in San Jose, it will work in San Diego. It will work all over California, and if it works all over California, it'll work all over this country. If it works all over this country, it will work all over the world because people are the same wherever you go. And he goes to them and he puts a business plan together, and Dick and Maurice McDonald looked at him like he had 3 heads. They said, we're in the hamburger business. We're not in the, we cook hamburgers and it's about quality of food for us, and we want to stay right where we are. They made money playing game #1. In our business, they're the person that runs around trying to sell a product. They try to go sell as many customers as they can every day. And they work 10 hours a day to go get those customers. And how many customers do those lead to? 0. But here's Ray Kroc, the network marketer. What did he say? He said, if it works here, it'll work everywhere. He said, I'm going to go recruit people. I don't like recruiting anybody. Use another word. Use share. Use consulting. Change it in your mind. But everything is about recruiting. Everything is about sharing. Everything is about being that consultant. Everything is about sharing something else with people. So call it what you want. Ray Kroc called it recruiting. I'm going to go recruit entrepreneurs who get the fact that the more stores they have, the more burgers they're going to sell. And he went and talked to doctors. He went and talked to, you couldn't be a passive investor. You couldn't be in the restaurant business if Ray Kroc came to talk to you. Why? Because your brain was already brainwashed into thinking you had to focus on one location. And so he ended up getting some investors together that believed in him and bought out Dick and Maurice McDonald, opened up one in Illinois, and the rest is history. One opens up every 4 hours somewhere in the world. Every 4 hours. Did he get rich when he went to sleep at night? You bet. Because when you have a business opening up all over the world and you're asleep, they're working. They're flipping burgers and selling fries. So McDonald's worked because he went after entrepreneurs who got the concept. There's a guy named Charlie Maluzzo who lives in Baton Rouge and went to school with his kids. They always drove the nicest cars. They lived in the nicest houses. They had the best parties. Why? Because Charlie went and bought 82 of these restaurants. And Ray Kroc said, I was never in the hamburger business. I was in the people business. I was in the real estate business. And I knew if I had more stores than anybody else, I could sell more hamburgers. And that's why they've sold billions and billions of hamburgers. Now, how does that relate to what we're doing? It's exactly the same thing, minus the $1.2 million you need to get started that has to come from your money. Going to Hamburger USA for 11 weeks where you get ketchup in your veins. Okay, and having to go run a restaurant till you find somebody capable of doing it each time you do it. But what's the difference in burgers and energy? Nothing.
Less work.
Less work in energy than burgers.
Tastes better.
And it tastes better, right? So when you look at, and you can look at all these different analogies. You can look at, one of Kevin's favorite people, Truett Cathy, the guy that founded Chick-fil-A, same idea. And he took it a step further in that he believed in his people. He created a culture that was different than anybody else. So here's McDonald's, and you say, well, all these people have come and go. They can't really compete with McDonald's. There's some that do okay, but McDonald's is McDonald's. And then you get into the energy space and network marketing. And you say, well, I knew somebody that was in Ambit. I knew somebody that was in Ignite, Stream, now, AT&T Wireless, or whatever they're going to call their new business, whatever it is. So that was a joke. Some of you get that on the way home. But anyway, but North American Power and Momentous and all these companies, have come and gone. So what's different about you? What's different about us is what makes Chick-fil-A different than everybody else. And it's the culture. It's the family, it's the faith, it's the freedom, it's that we're a no-pay-to-play model. It's the fact that we don't win until you win. And so we give you something you can be proud of. We give you something that, whether you love network marketing, Jeff, I don't mean to call you out, but here's a guy, he don't like network marketing. He walked in there, Jeff, you're like, I don't like network marketing. I got Amway ambushed, it might have been me, right? And I don't like it. He said, but if you can show me a free model, and you can show me a way to offer somebody, almost like, and I use this analogy. All right, think about this. How many of you like coffee? Okay, coffee drinkers. So if we're sitting down and we are having coffee, Bronson, and I go get your coffee for you, you're sitting there, you got your ink pad out, you're getting excited, and I say, Bronson, would you like cream in your coffee? Sure. You would. Okay, now tell me, who doesn't like cream in their coffee? Anybody? Anybody? Karen does not like cream in her coffee. All right, so Karen, we're sitting down, go get your coffee. Karen, you want cream? No. Why not? But why? I mean, Bronson likes cream. Was there something wrong with you? Like, would something happen as a child? Why don't you like cream? Now, how insane do I look to Karen? Right? If I get emotionally attached to whether she likes cream in her, I look like an idiot. That's what most of you do with network marketing. You get emotionally attached to the response of the person that you're talking to because you think for some reason you're going to run out of people.
Wow.
Make sense?
Yes.
So that's how you look to the people that you chase. That's how you look to the people that you call 16 times. That's how you look to the people. That's why people don't like network marketing. More than any other reason, it's because of some jerk they knew that was in it. And we like to tell people, hey, if you're a jerk, please don't get in and leave the room. We've already met our quota. Just in 5 months, we've met the quota, Jason, right? But that's how you look. So you're not emotionally attached to whether somebody does this or not. You're just turning over rocks. You ever play the game at the fair where you had the fish and they were in the water and you would turn, they had different numbers on them? And if you just continued to play, then you'd finally hit the right number and get the stuffed animal.
Yeah.
That's all this is. Now, if the opportunity's real, if the company behind it's real, if the money's real, if the comp plan's real, if the comp plan designer himself, anybody ever met a rocket scientist? You will today. He's a real life rocket scientist. Worked at NASA, worked at the Pentagon. If he's here telling you that it's real, and he's no hype, he's no BS, he's no, he's about the numbers. He's a numbers guy, but he also understands human behavior. And if all of that is real, then what's the real secret to doing the business? You got to believe in you got to believe that it works, you got to believe in the company, and you got to go to work. 3 of those have nothing to do with work. But 1 without the other 3 doesn't work. 2 without the other 2 doesn't work. You got to believe in you got to believe in the company, all right? You've got to believe that what you're doing is real, and you got to go to work. It's pretty simple. It's a simple formula. It can't be that easy. It is that easy. That's why most people miss it. You see, we're taught that for something to be great, it's got to be difficult to understand. Look at McDonald's. I will never, I told Kevin this story the other day, I will never forget going into McDonald's, and my sister did not eat meat at the time. She wanted fish, but she wanted the toy in the Happy Meal. And we walked up, and my dad said, I would like a Happy Meal with a fillet of fish. And the girl looked at my dad like Dick and Maurice McDonald looked at Ray Kroc. Like, what? I'd like a Happy Meal with a fillet of fish. And she looks down. She said, sir, there's no picture of that. Let me get my manager. The manager, he's got a tie on and a white shirt. His name is on his shirt in case he forgets where he works. In case he wanders off the lot at lunch, right? McDonald's, Bill. Right, Doc? So McDonald's Bill comes up. He said, sir, I'm sorry, we can't sell that. There's no picture of it. And my dad, with his patience and understanding, he says, all right. He says, I tell you what, give me a Happy Meal with a burger and a fillet of fish. Coming right up, sir. Why? Because there were pictures of that. And they brought it, and my dad took the burger out, slapped it on the counter, put the fillet of fish, and said, let's go, kids. And he left it on the counter. I wanted to stay around and see what would happen. They don't know what to do with the burger. They can't throw it away. It messes up their inventory. What do we do? And it was like a national disaster because anyway. But the simplest things in life always make the most money. It's that simple. They look at pictures on a cash register. So it doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be this enormous, crazy struggle. The biggest struggle you'll ever face in this business is between your 2 ears. Because it's so simple, and you'll ask yourself, why every day? Why am I not doing more than I should? Ever ask yourself that? Why does nobody want to do this with me? Why? And you self-doubt is the biggest killer. Arnold Palmer said the toughest golf course I ever played was not PGA Championship, it wasn't Pebble Beach, it wasn't Lanai, it wasn't the Masters, it was the 6 inches between my 2 ears. And that's what you have to master. How do you do that? You change your input. You change who you listen to. First meeting I ever went to, the guy got up, he said 2 things that I remember, only 2 things. He said, show me your mentor, I will predict your future. Boy, that was scary for me, Dubs. My mentor was my beer drinking buddy, Burke. Burke used to drink beer out of a cowboy boot. Okay, now, nothing like some beer with some Desinex in it. And we used to go to the bar, and Burke would get they'd pour the tap into the boot, and he had the bottom of the boot carved out, like there was a hole in it. And they don't even do this in Australia, do they? And then he would drink the beer, and it was just this Burke. And that was my mentor. Why? He was 5 years older than me. All the ladies loved him. He was 6'5". He's a great basketball player, so naturally I was going to listen to him. And I'll never forget when I saw the business for the first time. The guy said, show me your mentor, I'll predict your future. And he said, if you go show this to every living, breathing human being that you come to know, you can get rich. That's all I heard. So when I walked into the bar the night after I saw it, now the first mistake I made is after I got excited, what did I do? I tried to go regurgitate everything I learned at that meeting. And it was brutal. And so when Burke laughed at me, did he have a right to? You bet, because my presentation was terrible. I walked into the bar, had a beer, and said, Burke, I'm going to tell you about a business. And he says, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. I said, really? He goes, yeah, that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. I can't believe you're getting that pyramid where you get your friends in, you use them, you lose them, it's soap, it's a pyramid, it's a cult. And you know, this moment happens for everybody that gets in the business, right? Who's been through this? Somebody that you love and care about is going to look at you like you're nuts and tell you you're stupid, you're crazy, dumb, dumb, dumb. And you got a choice. You can either stand up, bow up, and hit them, chop them in the neck with a pin, like Doc would do. You can back down and you can go crawl back into your little hole of unsuccessfulness for the rest of your life, or you can stand up and you can say that's wrong. And what I did with Bert, I don't know where it came from, but it's one of the coolest things I have ever said in my whole life. All of a sudden I saw, and I don't know why, thank God I did, but I saw the dentist. Roll with me. I saw the dentist. When I was a kid, I broke my teeth. I ended up going to the dentist a lot. And one time I had to get a root. Anybody ever had a root canal? I had to get a root canal. But my dentist was not there that day. It was a substitute dentist. And this dentist came out, and he literally had 2 teeth. And he smiled, and they were rotten. And he smiled at me, and he said, "Let's go do your root canal." And I said, "I'm out of here, Jack." No. Why? Because logic tells you that if he can't keep his own teeth straight, how are you going to keep my teeth straight? And when you look at people that laugh at what you do in life, judge them by... You're not a pastor, but you're a minister, aren't you? Judge them by the fruit on their tree. And if their fruit is rotten, it's a rotten tree. If their fruit is good, it's a good tree. And you will not succeed in life and get good fruit on your tree listening to people with bad fruit on their tree. And there was Bert. Bad fruit, bad tree. That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. I said, "Thank you, Burke." I saw the dentist. I said, now the meeting that I went to, the former Secretary of Commerce for the state of Louisiana was in the room. He did the presentation. His job was to bring business to the state. A doctor named Dr. Ochsner was in the room. Ochsner Hospital's 4th largest health system in the world. He brought open heart surgery to, he was like 90 years old at the time, he's long gone. But he was in the room. Ronald Reagan's attorney was in the room, all doing what? Network marketing. And I looked at Bert, I said, "Thank you, Bert." I said, here I was about to listen to the Secretary of Commerce for the state of Louisiana. I was going to listen to Ronald Reagan's lawyer, the guy that brought open heart surgery and MASH units to the United States of America. But thank you, Bert, for taking time out of your busy schedule, drinking beer out of that cowboy boot to enlighten me on my financial future. And I walked out of the bar and I never went back. Why? I don't know why, but something happens when you see the circles. Something happens when you see Roger Hill do these numbers. Something happens to you. And if it doesn't happen today, hang around long enough, it will happen. But it happened to me, and I knew I would never be the same once I saw that meeting. If that was possible, I would always know that it was possible. And anybody and everybody you know that's been involved in network marketing, guess what? It's still in them. I don't care if they hate it. I don't care if I will never, ever do another network marketing deal. Said every network marketer that got into another deal. It's in them. Why? Because it's the dream. And you have a dream that one day you're going to have a better life. I've had people quit network marketing. I will never do that again. That guy's a crook. But guess what? Just because that guy was a crook doesn't mean Kevin's a crook. You ever eat a bad meal in a restaurant? Did you eat again? Yeah? Another bad meal? Did you eat again? Bad experience? Do you have to dive back in sometimes? You bet you do. But just because that guy was a jerk or that person is a crook doesn't make the industry a bad industry for somebody that wants to win, because there's far more winners than losers. I've heard this argument. Well, you know, most people fail. Most people fail. And that is true. 9 out of 10 people that sign up in a pay-to-play deal will fail. They'll fail. Is it the deal's fault? Not always, sometimes. But most of the time, people only put $400 in a deal. And so when they get their first no or their second no, or Bert tries to steal their dream, they quit. It wasn't because the business didn't work. It was because they weren't willing to go to work, or they were presented the lottery. Hey, pay $400, man. Just get a spot now. Just get in. I got this binder. I'm going to blow out a leg right here, man. And boom, just get in. I'm going to make you money. And the person that brought him in lied to him.
Exactly.
And they're running around saying network marketing doesn't work. You don't have that in this deal. You can't do that in this deal. You can't pay to get in. You can't even try that. We can't even take a credit card for you to get in. We have no ability to take your money when you get in. So that's hurdle number one. And how many people have ever said no to something that's free? Now, there are people that are so negative. All right, put them in a dark room, they'll develop. Okay, I mean, some of you get that on the way home. They're negative, right? If you went and tried to give them a $100 bill on the street, they would run because they would think there's a catch. There's a catch. You know, hey, look, why? Because there are a lot of people that are, full of, I heard on this morning, Navy is playing Army today. They're full of shit. Right? Navy has this whole commercial about, that we give a shit, right? Y'all thought I was going to say the other word, huh? Yeah. But no, so there are people that have been fed a lot of that shit with a P over the years. And so they're so skeptical, they're so negative. They come in these meetings with their arms crossed, their legs crossed, their eyes crossed, their ears crossed. I mean, literally, you see them. It's hilarious. Their lip is poked out so much it looks like they have on a turtleneck. And you'll come into contact with that. But it all comes back to how big's the dream. And if you want to know how to become successful, I will tell you this. Focus on the footprint. Focus on people, not a product. With people, the product will come. Does that mean you don't enroll your own meter? Absolutely not. Does that mean you don't go call 5, 6 people to enroll their meter? Absolutely not. But always, always talk to them about the ability. Because at a grassroots level, there's no business that makes more sense than this business because it's free. Hey, I mean, think about it. You're hearing about this for the first time. I have a way for you to change the company. Same lines, same everything, same lights, same trucks, fix it when it goes, same everything. But I'm going to help you save some money or lock in price protection so you don't lose money later on. And you can tell other people about that and you can get rich. Does anything make more sense than that? No. So don't let all the complicated, convoluted stuff get in the way. Become passionate about your dream. Fight for your dream. But the first thing you got to do is figure out what you want. And it really all comes down to this. People say, well, what you say is very important. But how you say it is more important. Sometimes it's not the words that you say. Sometimes it's not the person that's the most articulate that wins. It's the person that has the passion that attracts people. Now, does somebody have to be as intelligent as Roger Hill? Yes. Somebody. You can't have a bunch of buffoons like me standing up trying to teach you how to do this. You got to have somebody smart to point to. And I knew I was not that guy. Okay? In the 4th grade, I brought my report card home. 4 F's and a D. 4 F's and a D. Dad said, son, this is brutal. You're spending too much time in that one class. And then I remember right after that, Dad, I finally got a B. He said, you idiot, that's a D. See, that's not Roger. Roger's smart. But when they said you don't have to be the message, you can just be the messenger, and you just have to get people to the smart people, you just have to tee them up and let them go, you just have to literally just guide them, just lead them to the water, and the water will take care of them. The water will, then boy did it get simple. I didn't have to learn how to present. I didn't have to learn how to get up in front of people. Now, will your business grow faster if you learn how to do that? You bet it will. But baby steps. How to eat an elephant? How many of you have ever eaten one? So you really don't. But if you were, how would you eat it? One bite at a time, right? Baby steps, right? Small steps, very small steps. Every single day you get better. Every single day you get better. Every single day you get better. But you're a messenger. But you got to figure out, to motivate you to be the messenger, what it is that you want. And also to learn how to talk to other people about what they want. See, I find that most people, they get excited, they get fired up, but most people just like to talk. And the secret to communication is not talking, it's listening. The greatest communicator is the best listener, not the best talker. And when somebody's in a room that knows more than you, it's best to shut your mouth and to listen if you want to end up being where they are. Sir, it gets better. Yeah, okay, yeah, all right.